hasn't changed one bit.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
Opera Epiclese.
Too slow. Behold! Quit following me. Quit following me.
Which is more valuable, unlimited mora or unlimited time?
Quit following me. Too slow. Hup. Too Squall and Fury. The wind rises. Quit following me. Squall and Fury. Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play, don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed, then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire. All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fonta anyway. It tastes kinda salty.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fonta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing to Spina di...
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Arc.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Quit following me. Too slow.
Seems like the stories here never have a happy. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Too slow.
I think the element you're adding is
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache!
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you... Ugh. That's kinda spooky.
Vache! Vache!
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler! Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache! Are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is? Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since... Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water. And then all... I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. And no matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now... we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be. No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had... Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance!
When I realized my audio hasn't been recording this whole time, I'm about to start sobbing.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand.
But
But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
Can someone explain everything
followed
that
you.
happened?
It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I
That's
believe
gay.
that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
This sounds gay.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
This be
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but
Yes.
do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful.
They saw
Your
that you were
performance
getting-
tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
Yes.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
The fuck? I'm gonna get myself to
Right.
sob by accident.
I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss
sorry, I
Clarand was
pinched my
being
skin.
sincere with you.
Near my nose.
If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Hello. What just happened?
Thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clarand who came out to save us too!
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
I was unconscious.
Well,
what
to
happened?
be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh,
I
Paimon's even more amazing.
actually contributed to something there?
Yes. All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Dude, I like how that's reversed.
So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
God damn.
Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Because we
Well,
noticed that.
You did foil a
and we're-
plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
I mean,
Well,
no.
it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too.
Yes, but we
it
had
was
already.
real faint. Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh,
We don't know that she's on the disappearing woman. I still
Vache.
believe that she is.
that name doesn't ring a bell.
That's because
I
it's not a
suppose he hasn't
fucking
stepped
name.
forward as
It's a
witness in court
title.
lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
No.
You did say that our farewell meal didn't really count.
I want to
we're still
talk
partners,
to
right?
the god and
And
find my
besides, we're in
sister.
this now whether we like it or not. You're not
I-
gonna let
I
those
can
people who
leave.
targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Trav?
This approves to be.
Demoiselle,
Oh
do
fuck! I thought
try
it's
not
our
to look
biggest
quite so
mistake.
pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much.
This
Well,
bitch.
in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you.
I still haven't
We
talked to the
also
god.
have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take
I
that
still
one step at
haven't
a
talked
time, I
to
guess.
Folklore.
Don't worry, you two.
I talked to
With us
Folklore.
around, our base is definitely secure.
I would like to talk to Folklore. The fuck did it just say to me? Hold on. Eneke foliovis. Okay, let's look it up. It's used. It's used. I don't have that on. That is. Except it has that, but it's not giving me the fancy. Hold on. Let's copy an E. That word doesn't exist. Folio viz. Folio. That also doesn't exist. Why would I translate it from English to French? I want to keep that there just so I can, like, think back to it later. You know, just so I can, like, be like, later on. And why is my nose so itchy today? Disastrous.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue,
If
Traveler.
Malus dies, I will start crying. I'll act like I'll act with Malus as people thought. Fuck. Who's the guy from Inazuma?
Too slow.
See, I didn't care about him. Like, I don't remember him. I didn't. Yeah, we're in the sewers. This is nice. This is arcane. It's. Why is it? It's given arcane. That's great. Got some soup over there. That's nice. Oh, it's a fucking lizard. Look at that lizard. I don't mean to kill it. I didn't mean to. It's going to pop me into something right away, but I want to look at the viewpoint. And acquire the teleport waypoint. Thank you. Oh, is it a... No, I can't talk.
Too slow.
No, buy some goods? No? Okay. Well.
Whatever business you're in, you gotta remember. I guess I'm finally on.
If you want to outrun the law, you need to know how it works.
Nice.
So, this is your base?
Shut up,
Your
Grandma.
accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say...
Well, our funds, after all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
I'm about to start messaging my old friend
To be
Shuchu
honest,
to be like, what
our
does this
financial
mean?
situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets.
Oh,
3
music.
years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At
Just
the
like-
time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
It's, you know, people are complicated. Well, this is the type of story shit like that I like.
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating this.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation
I am
records.
still not done with my
However,
taquitos. I gotta eat my
I believe
taquitos.
that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are...
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I'm just
I
saying, don't we
also
all
will never
wish our
believe that
fathers
Master
could be?
Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle.
We all wish
Master
our fathers
Callus
would be more
did
open
so
with
much
us.
good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
Now you saw,
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of
you
drama.
saw how that was.
It's
but
not
no, they
something
wouldn't.
exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love
Fontaine's
watching the evil
special,
turn over
though.
a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely
Fontaine's
accused,
special, though.
we have to find the truth. He didn't
Fontaine's
deserve to
a
have
little
that happen
special,
to
though.
him.
There is one other
A little
thing.
bit special in that
Master
regard.
Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Mm.
Well, then, isn't that as
Hey,
good
did you
as
know
saying
that child hasn't
she
come
was
back
the
for
one
his
who
vision and we
killed
still
him?
have it? I want to shatter it.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master
That's-
Callus
yeah.
beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
It's not that I don't understand, I'm just a little bit
knows how
angry.
you feel.
You killed my father.
have to
Prepare
force
to
yourself to
die.
do that.
Afterward, Miss Cloran told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure... Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just thanks. You two
We
should
haven't
go and
actually
rest.
told anyone
This
here
was
about our
quite a day
sister. I
after
feel
all.
like we've just given up on time. We're just like, I will get there eventually, guys.
Please,
Fuck!
relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
That's how the traveler's like right now. Just, well, eventually, someone will, you know, talk about our sister.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navi?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Fina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Why?
Gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your... But never mind that. When did you get back?
I sent them back to fish.
Here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait. So
It's
you
not a
didn't
name,
sleep
it's
at
a title. You should know this.
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
all? Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence.
Because it's not a
Doesn't seem
name.
to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No,
When I
there is
tweet in the
one ray
middle
of
of
hope.
fucking Genshin.
One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to.
Oh,
And
yeah?
that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept.
Oh.
If the
So we have to
Oceanette you
talk
met
to
is one of the young women who
the
went
Dilf.
missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
She didn't tell us she was that. She,
So Neuvillette maintains an archive
it's
of
honestly
case
just
Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you.
Of course, he has an
In that case,
archive
let's
of
go
case
talk to
files.
him,
Why
shall
wouldn't
we?
you have an archive of case files? That, yeah. How did you think that would go,
Aren't you
Paimon?
coming along,
Paimon,
Navia?
our
Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
I'm about to scream. Sob. No. This is painful to watch. Once upon a what? Once upon a what? Tell me that again. Floof. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. Do you have books back here? You have a book? You do have a book. Thanks for the book. That's number 1. Nice. Let's hear it. Cabbages? My cabbages! My dad wants to cosplay the Cabbage Man and then just go around and scream my cabbages at conventions. No, he doesn't, but he likes people who cosplay that. He wants to cosplay only unknown people. Unknown characters. And I'm like, Father, please, just
Too slow.
cosplay funny things with me.
Quit following me.
Please. Yes! Ah! Oh, I love that. This is my
Too slow.
favorite. Children.
Quit
Nope.
following me.
No, I love that Oh my god, there's a Justine. Ah, that's so great. That's great. Okay. Okay.
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
God, I love that. I just want to talk. I want to talk to the tent tortoise. I want to talk to the tent tortoise. Right there.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Why? Where does the R come
Don't you
from?
recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear.
They only skip.
I don't care
They
who
only
you
skip.
are or
They
who
don't
you
have a
might be
walking
related
animation.
to.
They just have
Our
skipping
rules
animation.
make no exceptions.
That's
See?
amazing.
They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy. So please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
My brain's on drugs.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird.
Of
You
course.
must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're
Hi.
here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Yes. Don't question it. Just
Of course.
accept.
Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right, then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Wow, that was
thanks so
so
much.
fucking easy. What the shit? Should we really be trusting these guys? Fuck. Okay, I thought I had a little. Ooh, wait. Is this books? Books? Fuck, that's a seat. Books?
These newcomers are full of enthusiasm.
Books? No books? Okay. Ooh, book.
Too slow.
I found it. Okay. Anyway.
Too slow.
Or you might not be allowed to leave.
No, okay. I got it. Knock, knock.
Please come in.
Hey, he's letting us in. Hello, sir. It took a second to, reply. How rude of you.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right.
Who the...
Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
You didn't...
So you're not mad at us?
I feel like this is...
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Don't scream. Don't scream!
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Oh, they got bad blood.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, it doesn't exist
I'm
because
quite
it's a title.
certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case,
Wow, I'm
criminal
so shocked.
or civil,
I'm so
in the
shocked.
past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
But what if it's not a
So-
fucking name?
All right, then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem.
Oh.
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say?
Tweeting in the middle of
Monsieur
streaming
Neuvillette?
is something that I will only do now.
Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should.
I heard some emotion.
It's
I'm
just
also
like
very
last
blind
time.
to emotions.
After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
I feel like I have said this multiple times while playing this game. In my time. Since I've downloaded it at 1.0. But, people just need to know how to talk.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
I just saw a thing about
You're
this.
right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active
The
trials
dragon
today.
rain. When the dragon cries, it rains.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Well, that thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah! And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities!
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Serious.
Yeah,
I can't be serious when there's a place called Fish.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
I can't.
Great. Let's go then.
I can't be serious when there's a place called Fish. It's called Fish. You do know that, right? My friend got it, but where the fuck did they see it?
Behold!
did they find it? Okay. 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 Sure.
Quit following me.
I'd hope you fall. Didn't mean it, Skara! Sir! I didn't mean to actually fall.
What a huge ship! Why would a
Okay.
ship be anchored at a place like
I
this?
should have said this before Paimon started speaking. I saw a thing earlier where it was, going off of the "it rains" when the Hydro Dragon cries, and taking in the theory of Neuvillette not having a vision and being Hydro and all that, he is the Hydro Dragon, which then just means that her leaving and having that scream at him, he just feels bad and cries.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Oh, wow, that sounds like you know how things work. Oh, I put off auto.
My
Fuck.
father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common.
My nose is so itchy.
A
I'm about to
gigantic and glamorous ship embodies
something.
discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Convinced of
Well,
what?
Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Off we go, off we go.
Squall and fury. Too slow.
Hello.
Maloose, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court.
Motherfucking.
What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me
Every
of something
time-
really
every time
important.
they say Poisson, I'm going.
You see,
I'm going
what if
to
my father's
start
case
laughing
had something
myself.
to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Maloose? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's.
Could you tell us a bit more about...
Yeah, of course. Many years ago,
Oh,
something
now we're
called
fine
synth
talking
began to
about
gain
it.
popularity in
You know
Poisson.
what?
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions.
Alcohol.
And if you were to stop drinking it
Okay.
completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous
Alcohol.
substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that,
What the fuck?
Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, My father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night,
It's
my
fucking
father hosted a
Arcane.
banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes at Jacques, but considering it now,
Oh my
it's
god.
almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to... You're right. We still don't know what happened.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinite. I think this third person. On that note, however, even though this will not, our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both...
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark.
I feel like that doesn't...
What
Okay,
was
you
the
know what?
point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Maloose?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Oh shit.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed
Elazar.
with a rare illness.
I'm joking.
The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety.
Lowers
5
lifespan
years
because...
was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
They did,
No,
though.
I don't believe it.
But
he
they
never
did.
appeared to look sick to me.
Just a little
No
bit of
father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard.
Never
Especially someone as proud as Boss.
That doesn't mean shit.
To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful were still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him.
Oh, god damn
Is
it!
that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Huh. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
No!
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in
It's
operation
the fucking
for decades.
Fatui.
There's no
Isn't
telling
it?
what might be lying in wait at their headquarters.
It's always
We
the
also have
Fatui.
no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to
Goddamn
find
bastards.
inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
Yeah, he's
I am the
had a
butler,
couple
after
fucking
all.
years to think.
I live but to serve the boss and demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's
that makes sense.
almost too hard to
Usually how
believe.
that stuff goes.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Oh, we're going back to this stuff. Okay. Yeah, you know what? We still have the other one. That'd be fun. Oh, we do. That's fun. I just realized I should content updated. I'm so out of it, man. I'm so in tune with everything when it comes to the R&R. I would rather be in tune with the R&R than these guys. I don't know what's happening.
The wind rises.
I actually know where that one is. Sorry.
Quit following me.
Oh.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
It's been 5 seconds.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
This is an angry child. Oh.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
Man's got the
I can
most
understand
French
the
name
kind
out
of
them all, and
pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his fault. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Where'd you go from? Hi. Oh. 谢谢 right there. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. Oh. Oh, it's so cute.
Are you okay, Navia?
Okay. Gotta go.
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
I don't even know.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about
Dude.
what happened at the Opera House.
Your
Someone
beard
got
is
turned
shit.
into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene.
Yeah,
After my
jeez.
partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think.
Oh, why'd you look off to the
Mr.
side like
Callis
that?
was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So, I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone.
So
while
then
the
where did
second
the
killed
shot
Jacques.
hit? Then where did the
But
shot
I've never
hit?
really
if
bought
it-
that explanation.
Or were they outside then? That
Reason
makes sense,
being,
but I feel
Mr.
like this
Callus had
sound
left
like-
his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned.
We didn't.
Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would
we?
also have no
Did I miss
reason
that?
to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
Just the reason
He
beforehand.
didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel.
Ah.
I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
It was a little, oh god, 900. A little, as some might say, sus. Ah, god, you're right here.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you
Ooh, I
sure there
hate your
isn't a
voice.
little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
I enjoy the
Callis did a
ambience of
fantastic
fish.
job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me
enjoy
to
the
find a
ambiance of fish.
similarly easy but
That's
high-paying job in the
stupid.
city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
I'll just talk to
That'd be
Neuvillette
much
if I need to.
appreciated. Thank you.
I said Neuvillette.
Actually,
Fuck,
I have
Neuvillette.
another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you
What's that
ask?
mean?
We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich,
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation.
His tone of voice changed
I'll be
so much.
staying
I
in the
didn't.
city for a little while,
So now
so
he
just come find
sounds
me if you need
slightly
any support
frustrated,
from the
but his tone of
guards.
voice was definitely. Whew.
Quit following me.
Oh? Oh, it's a mech thing. Okay.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Yeah, me too,
it's
bitch,
all
but I
right,
can still
Uncle
walk.
Marcel.
No,
There's no need
I
to
couldn't
stress.
walk yesterday. I was in
I
much
just
pain.
wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House.
I could walk.
I'm sure you saw
Just
everything too, right?
in pain.
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot.
Yes,
and the rest
it
was
is
history.
French for fish.
Oh, it's okay.
It
no
is.
need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable
can't
clues
handle
elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora.
I can't keep a straight face. Everything is so serious. It's like murder.
All my wealth
all
comes
this.
from Callus's
What's on? And
patronage
I'm like,
and support.
fish.
I'll spend however much it
I
takes to
can't.
clear his name.
I'm not stable enough to drop my phone. I keep doing that. I can't pay attention to it half the time. I'm just like, oh yeah, all serious stuff. Fish. You will be safe in fish. Okay, now, if we get some nice... I could make a cosplay. I could make a cosplay. Did they walk faster than me? They walk faster than me, the sword. Yeah, they say random words with a French accent. And I'm just like, excuse me. None of them have French
We've
accents
talked to
unless
all
they're
three
saying
suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
French.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I mean, that last guy sounded suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Probably, but probably. Probably. It's more complicated than you think.
And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
It's a better theory than the last one.
Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite... But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
I think it's Marcel. He seemed the most suspicious out of them all.
Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child.
Yes, exactly.
Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Fine.
Florent? It is true that, but as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel.
So you're saying he's too broke?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he
Bitch
could,
is broke.
I don't think he would be able...
Fine.
Thierry, you say? Huh, but I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also...
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, if the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Who could it be?
Oh, so it just wanted me to go through all three. Okay. Oh God. I don't think it's Florent. He was the least suspicious out of all three. I think it's Marcel. I think it's Marcel.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Yes.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well.
If they try and say it's
The suspect is
Malus, I will
knowledgeable about the
actually
Spina's
throw
internal
my
affairs,
laptop. Not
has
my
the
laptop,
means to
my
dispatch
computer.
Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. We need far more solid proof before we can hope...
Navi, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh?
What?
Aren't you the guy from the guards?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a fraternal archangel called
Eat
Tartaglia.
shit. Die in a fire. Eat shit. Go on trial.
What? Is that someone you know?
Ha! Eat shit.
We know him. Maybe even a little too well.
And that's Paimon's fault.
He's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Why
It's
would you think
absurd,
it's
don't you
absurd?
think?
It's Fatui. That makes a lot of sense.
How? None of our investigations...
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to
Right. Because they'll think they've already found...
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder.
I understand.
I don't wanna.
Split up?
I don't
What do you
like
mean?
him.
Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the you're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you.
We'll help you, just like you helped.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver. When did you two get...
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance.
We'll be leaving fish.
It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then!
I hope I'm right about Marcel. Although, usually if you do that wrong, it'll
Now
give
that
you
Navia
something
has
to
set
be
out
like,
for
hey,
Irenaeus,
you're wrong.
we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Hello.
Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Did I get it? Yes, I did. Okay. All that matters to me is that left control. I don't know my left and right. Too shallow. Too shallow. Let me dive! That's not a joke. I don't know my left and rights. Oh, you can spawn underwater. That's fun. Hello. Nom nom nom. Why did that give me primo gems? Hold on, I just noticed something. I didn't mean to attack you. Not you. Not you. 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 Okay, got it. Bye. Anyways, bye. Grabs. I feel like that should have done it. No? Okay. Although I didn't look at this. Hold on. I did that. That's stupid. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Ah! No! What? No! Give me the—
Finally found it!
Oh no, okay. Why is she—
So this is the entrance that leads to
Paimon's
the
animation
production
changes
base.
none underwater.
It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Well, why would they—
Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective
They
measures
didn't even
and
try and
mechanisms.
change her. Why is she—
Navia's
why
probably
are we able
arguing
to
up a
speak
storm right now to
underwater?
stall for us.
Why are we able to speak underwater? That's the dumbest shit ever. Oh god.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name.
Oh my fucking god.
Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorent,
Didn't he
right?
already have that?
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received.
Oh my god, he's high on drugs. Constantly.
When I
24/7.
privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case.
You're asking a lot of
isn't the
child to give a shit
place
about
for you to be
literally
looking
anything.
for fights.
Anything at all.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House.
Of course.
Then
it's
why
not your
don't you
fucking
duel
place.
me too?
I-
I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. We have made very little
You're a
progress.
fucking dumbass, I hate you.
In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on?
Surprise,
Why is she
audience, huh?
interjecting again?
And yet
I
helped
told you it
last
couldn't
time,
be
so
one of the
shut
Fatui
up.
harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the
That's not
second time you've
true.
interrupted
That
the
it could
court
very easily
proceedings.
be a pic-
I only
fuck.
tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well
Thank you,
charge
sir.
you with contempt of court for your interjections.
See, this
Oh,
this
please.
is the truth.
Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
That's
We
not
can put
pointless
that discussion
theatrics. It's
aside
how to
for
keep
now.
the fucking
I'm
court
not
in
here to
proper
argue with
order.
you.
This is
I'm here to charge
it's
the true
basic
culprit
rule.
behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default. Correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered
I'm
to
going
clear
to
my
commit
name.
genocide on your
How fascinating. Well,
on your
I've gotten
family.
half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, Who is the person you would like to charge instead?
I like to believe that it.
That person is.
Ha! Ha! No! It shouldn't make me do this. No, I want to look it up. I don't want to fuck this up. My initial reaction to look it up. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to fuck it up. Oh yeah, there would be an act after this. I don't want to. What the fuck am I looking at? That is not. What the shit is that? I'm sorry. I looked it up and I just saw something incorrect. What the shit was that? That's on drugs. Okay, no. I can't. Everything else. This is not what I'm not looking for the character list. That's not what I want. I am scared. I am scared. Please no. Please no. Okay. It is Marcel. It is Marcel. Okay, wait. Cal's escaped because 3 years ago. Cal's had a gun in his hands and joined the suspect analysis. It would be the suspect analysis because of
the head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
almost.
Huh? What Confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Oh my
Please
god,
let me
you're
remind
talking
you,
like
Miss
it's a
Navia,
fucking
that
fan.
charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court.
And now it's
Members of the
time
guards,
to...
please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
This is not how an actual trial would... A fish clip?
Mr. Marcel,
What do you
will
mean
not
a
require an
fish
attorney.
clip?
Is that correct?
Apologies.
You
It all
say
just happened so quickly.
What the
I still haven't
fish
figured out
is
what's
that
going
just
on.
what the poisson?
I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of
I'm
Callus
confused
the
about the fish
Unfaithful.
clip now.
Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
This
I
is
see.
the most...
In which case, I will recount the
I'm
findings
sorry,
about that
hero,
case as
but
originally
your
recorded by
Archon
Maison
is kind of
Gardiennage.
the most dense Archon out of them all. Oh god.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabriere.
Oui. I have to
During the
flip for
banquet,
that. Fuck.
all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, They found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance Jacques lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life.
And we didn't cover find the fucking cases or the bullets that got lost, but no.
The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel.
Which is a weird way to prove your innocence, might I
Callus
just
was
say.
defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries.
Yes, but that was his plan the whole time.
These are the known facts about the case.
What fish clip?
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first. And
It
was
almost
shot in
looks like
turn
they're
by my
ready
father when
to
my father seized the gun
get
from
the
him.
little thing and just
After
make
that, the true
Marcel,
culprit
not
turned
Marcel.
the third person
No,
into
this-
water,
just
erasing
kill
all
Navia right
traces
now.
of
Just
him
stare.
from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time.
Look at them saying puzzle.
However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new
concerned.
information about the abilities of
I
water
wanna
from
see
the
the clip of
primordial sea.
Poisson. I need the Poisson clip. Okay. Yes, countryside estate owned by the Confier. When the guest did not bring a gun with him.
Something's not.
I feel like that would be the right one. On the day of the murder, Spina de Luisa hosted a large banquet in the countryside estate. Yes. Yes. 2 gunshots. Who had the motive to kill?
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques,
I
the
didn't
true
know I had
culprit
more
had
to say than
already
that.
considered this possibility and
I
had
skipped
sent
some
out
voice lines
another
earlier.
assassin.
Oh, yesterday. Whoopsie. What? Oh, okay. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callison. He dead with a gunshot wound. Where is it? Where is it?
This
There we go.
assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
First shot must have visual signals have taken Jacques' life. No, then it's this one. What? It can't be this. Because this sounds more like that. But I guess it's... What?
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
Okay, that's
Realizing
all I need
this,
to do.
the true
It's always
culprit
those two.
caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder.
So your
This
father looked like?
is
Hot
the true
damn.
version of events.
Navia, your father is a pirate. Your father is a pirate, ma'am. Also, this is not how court goes. Just saying, this is not how any court would go.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should
Sir,
provide a
you're being
rebuttal
charged
if you
with
wish to prove
murder.
your innocence.
Please.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home.
I may not have
So
the
that's
evidence
what
with
happened.
me, but I
Real
know where I could go
courtroom.
to collect
That's-
it. If we look up
These
the
people are
deserted
treating it
clothes
like it's an
against a
opera
record
show.
of
It
people
is
who
at
went
the
missing
opera
around the
house.
same time, we should be able to find a match.
It's at the
Considering
opera
the
house.
serial disappearances case, the guards
They treat it
probably
like an
kept
opera
careful
show. They
records of
treat
all missing
all
persons from around that time,
Court cases
regardless
as if
of
it's
age or
just
gender.
and play
That
and
makes
act.
sense to me. Monsieur
A
Neuvillette,
fun little
I
story
would
to
consider
enjoy in your
this
free
to
time.
be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's
Mhm.
acting a little differently today?
Maybe
Hamilton.
she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that
Someone's
a
got to
person
make a
had been
musical just about
dissolved,
Fontaine.
he could have at least
The
mounted a
Fontaine musical.
defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in
Dear
dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered.
There are no
He
jurors.
had no guarantee that going forward with
You're
the truth
expecting a
would
lot,
allow
but
the
juror
culprit
is
to
a
be brought to
conscious
justice.
machine.
What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone?
Yes. They are
Had
just
this
random
opera
people.
house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice,
They
Spina di
are just
Rosula would have
citizens
had no
fighting,
reason
which
to
you could-
exist. But by staying
pretty sure
silent,
for some
we
trials you can
retained
do
the
that.
ability to deter our
But, you
opponents
know, these are
and
some
continue the
critical
stalemate.
trials that in
I was able to become
at
Spina
least
di Rosula's
America,
president,
you
which
wouldn't
made
be
me
able to
harder
do.
to target, as well as giving me
Or
more
just
time to
walking on.
grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what
At least I
this
think so.
opera house
It'd be
cannot,
really funny
and
if my brother
restore
was
my
here, because
father's truth
he
and honor
studied
back
law
to
for a
him.
bit.
So, you
I'd
mean
just
to
be like,
say,
hello, sir.
your
Can you tell
father
me that this,
intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's
is
right.
legal, is real, please?
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel,
They could
did
peer
you believe
pressure
that Callus
the
was
god,
intending to die?
Karina. She's a god. They could peer pressure her.
Yes,
But not the judge.
I did.
Kind
As a
of,
champion
maybe?
duelist, I've
But
fought
the
many
judge,
battles
you'll see
and taken
later.
a countless number of dishonored lives.
You'll see
In my
later,
line of work,
'cause I can't really explain
I've seen
it
all kinds of
as
people
well
give their
as
all for the faintest hope to continue living.
it is without showing you.
Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony,
Like, I know I was
have no more
proving this, but that is
questions.
my father.
It
Jeez,
appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor.
Oh my god.
The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit
I can't
intended to
respond to
kill
anything.
Bullseye
My character's
and
not here.
Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing
Can we
traits.
get back to, like, the other stuff now?
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just
But
said was
that's
true,
literally
can you
the-
prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
How would they remotely monitor the place? Do we have phones now? We have never acquired phones.
Don't know what she can say to
This
that.
is the judge.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of
That is the
suspects
judge,
with some further
not him.
investigations until I'm the only one left on the
We need a
list.
game that has
Alas,
natural
who
realistic
won't
reality.
feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd
We'll
also
make
think
it.
I'm not
We
being
can make
considerate
the
of your
game.
feelings. Ah well,
I got.
let Uncle Marcel teach
It
you
might not be
another
based
lesson.
on real as much.
Do you know
but
what the biggest flaw
my brother
in your
was a mock
reasoning
trial.
is?
My mom went to all of his
suppose you're
stuff.
gonna tell me
I regret to say that I
anyways.
didn't go to any
It's
of his mock
timing
trials.
again.
But
I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint,
Chair
there's no
guy,
reason for me
he-
to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk
Uh,
action with nothing to gain.
he's the
In
Chief
addition,
Justice.
I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and
He
work
just
in
kind
some
of
trade. My
compiles
business
all the
only thrived
information
when I
and
received
goes like
Callus's patronage.
order here. So I guess he would be the
the
judge. But
disappearances
the one that
began
actually
before I ever stepped foot in
commits
Fontaine.
the
I do
not the
apologize,
accusation, but the one
Demoiselle.
that
This was
actually
my mistake.
convicts the people
No.
is
It's not your fault.
the
I'm sure he had come prepared.
I don't remember what they're called.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances?
Why would that do
You can
anything?
also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left
But he is
Snezhnaya for the
called
first
Chief
time.
Justice.
Could those
not-
records and testimonies do something to
judge.
appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted
Yeah.
for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings
jury.
as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
Your words, sir. They're
This
odd.
isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose
You just
families were
found
destroyed by
Poisson?
synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice.
What does that mean?
Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh!
Oh, so you do know that
It's
name.
not a name!
I'm merely surprised.
Is it a
you'd
man
suddenly
named
say the name of
Cowboy?
someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Is it a man named Cowboy? Is it a man named Outlander? That's Vache. I'm so annoyed by this. It literally means cow herd, cowboy, cowgirl, cowpoke, or land outs. Make an outlanding, like an outlander, which is what we've heard said before. It's not a fucking name. I'm mildly annoyed by everything every time. Okay, anyways. Time to go. What the fuck is it? I can just press L. I don't. That's so weird.
By royal Fine. The doctor.
Let's just commit genocide real quick. Start? What have we started? Am I going somewhere?
Whoa.
Yep, it's an elevator.
The floor is going up.
Paimon, this isn't the first time this has happened.
Is it
You've
because
seen
of
me
this
sometimes.
mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Paimon, this has happened to us before. It's... God, that hurt.
Too slow.
I just realized... Man, what?
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way.
It's like
Let's
this.
take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism.
I will laugh my ass off. I can't make it. I can't make it, but I was gonna laugh my ass off if I was able to make it. Okay. Okay. No.
Too slow.
No. Okay. Let's go back into the water. Hold on. I just realized I should. Oh, hello, sir. Thank you. Do I need like a second one? No? Okay. Oh, it's for the wall. Is it for the wall? Oh, I did it wrong. Yes, it is. It is for the wall. Hold on. I want to see. Has this map... Yes! Fontaine has been added to my virtual map. Not all the chests, obviously, because it's been a... It's only been out for... Oh, cowherd? That makes sense. It's so stupid. Oh, we're draining the room. It's... drains. Okay.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim
Oh,
to the top.
the opposite of a drain. Never mind.
But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Paimon. You think too little of me. You think too little of me, Paimon. Hold on. So okay, hold on. I'll laugh my ass off it. Okay. 2, 1.
The wind rises.
I'm gonna go back, but I will say that I have made it up here.
Quit following me.
Perfect. I've done it now. Why work so hard when I can just fly? Oh, I don't want to rise the sea level.
Mind the
There are
side.
precious books here.
Squall and fury.
Everyone questions why I use E if I'm not going to use her as DPS.
That's far enough.
Simply so I can have fire. Oh, they're back again.
Shadow Raven, let not. Pew!
Behold.
Is the dog gonna shoot at me? Please no. Please no. Ah! blah, blah, blah. Now, can I get any books in here? Any books I can acquire? Any books? Any books? No. No. Okay. I wanted books. But no. No books for me.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
How are you speaking underwater? The hydro makes sense for swimming, but what?
Quit following.
I love having a fish tank underwater. Books? No? Okay. Oh. I'm so glad that you stopped right before it, Scaramouche. That would have been bad.
Quit following me.
By royal... Dumpy Dumpty Duck! The doctor will see.
Squall and Fury.
I think Animo is some of the best DPS if you got the right elements on your team, because then you just, you know, oh, there's fire? Now there's more! More fire. I'm also just a simp for Scaramouche, that's why I think you should all main him. I'm joking. I told my friend not to pull for Scaramouche, just so I could be the only one with him. Now they're pissed at me because I just do this everywhere. He just took damage.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the opera house.
He's at court, Paimon. That was the whole plan. Are you in pain? Are you? Paimon, you hurt me. Hold on. Okay, let's investigate here. I hope that's
What's
not
all
in.
this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
It's probably from the people that disappeared.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute... Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here?
Yes, Paimon. Well, at least their things
They
are
were
right here.
turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That means...
That is some weird serial killer shit, man. God. That is some weird ass serial killer shit. If we think about, I know they're talking about disappearances, but if we think about this in real life, that's just called a serial killer who hasn't been caught yet. God, that's terrible.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes.
Everything escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. She's very bad at her
Callous.
job.
Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and
Can I not
Callus
read?
because
Am I...
of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Yeah.
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us,
I meant to pop in for 2 minutes, now I've been here for an hour.
he can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to
The
remove
fish.
him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as
The
long
fish
as we
keep you
don't
here
touch
forever.
Navia.
You cannot leave.
Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
They planned this well.
They're all just so evil.
It's like It's a serial murderer. But just with a little bit of spice. That's all this is.
There's so much synth here. And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea. Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled.
Well,
Whoa,
this is
there's even fruit-flavored synth?
reeled me in with like a fish, you could say. Hey!
Yep, it's super obvious.
But that's not all. We still haven't found his whole thing. There's a desk here.
What's
Desks
this
are
over
always having the most important
Looks like
stuff.
some kind of
I
place for
suggest not putting
research.
your important things on the
Experiment
desk.
number
If
16
you have any
aims to
secrets.
verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
Why only females, though? Is he just...
Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best.
Is he not sexist? What is it?
Paimon's never read something so scary
Or is he
before.
sexist? Is he just like, don't kill the man, we have to kill the woman?
Terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone. You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Okay. The goal of the research is to save his lover. Vinay? What does it mean? Is it just a name? Or is it another fucking word? It does sound like vignette. It's a name, but it does kind of sound like vignette, and it's giving me other words that I just want to know. Vinegar! Okay, that's fair.
That's why you did all of these experiments. Wait,
Just have to keep a word reference open this whole time.
find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
There's another Vache.
Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain?
Right, I'll see somewhere that you dissolve
In the
in.
serial disappearances case.
If you're from Fontaine, yes.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these...
If you're from Fontaine and you touch any water from this sea, you just kind of bleh and become one.
So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case...
He would want them to resurface so he can get back his lover. He didn't... Oh no, I've got the dissolving gene. It's lactose intolerance, but worse. Can we examine it again? Vache didn't care how many victims he had dissolved. This brings his lover back to life. I think it's this water. Will I dissolve? Oh, I can't walk into it. I think it's...
Oh, look! There's an important looking basin over here, and it's full of water!
a basin. Yeah, that's water. That water. That special shiny water.
And that special water is the main ingredient! If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human!
Not pog in the song.
Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Incriminating evidence? Sure. But this still doesn't say anything about Marcel.
We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our... Yeah! We haven't found anything that... No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago.
Is
that way, even if we bring all
Marcel
this back to the opera, we won't be able
from
to identify the true culprit.
Fontaine? Because then the name makes sense. Outlander.
Sure thing.
Because the name Outlander would make sense in that case, because he's an Outlander, not from Fontaine. The sins of the sea. There's nothing here. I feel like that.
You take that side, and Paimon will take this side.
After some time.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Why would there be snacks in here, Paimon? What the fuck? Paimon, I found it.
Let Paimon see.
Well, that's a cool notebook, I mean.
Isn't that Vache's lover's name?
Vache.
You found her diary. Let's see. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so...
She made a list of baby names. Is that Marcel? Does that mean Marcel? DILF! DILF! I don't know what it says. Hold on. Have I think I've actually saved something that has... Genshin. Where is it? I think I've saved the fucking language. But it was so long ago. But I care enough to not click and look it up. Language. No. No, yes, gay. Obviously. I mean, there's a lot of gay undertones to this whole thing. Do 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 do. I don't. But what? I saved it somewhere. I'm so determined now just to find it. Just delay everything just to... Honestly, I assume everything's gay unless proven otherwise. That's flower bouquets. That's lockpicking. This is terrible. This is stupid. This is stupid. How long ago did I do this? I thought it was not that long ago. Fine. Fine.
So
I'll go back to it later.
A whole page's worth. But the final name she Marcel. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
Marcel's pretty old. Has it?
How have you not figured it out? We're accusing someone named Marcel of all of this. And you want to assume that it's not
And
Marcel?
Whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Is it your father?
So you do know that name.
Father, it's his eye.
Merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
Why are you trying to erase
I
your
was
father
waiting
from
for you to
existence?
say that. As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
He's so annoyed.
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
Also, did you hear that? They said Nervalet. They added an R. There was no R in his name. You say you've never heard of a Vache, but...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established. This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
Slightly fucking up French.
You also
in a
never
place that's
understood
supposed
Boss's
to
real
actually
expectations
speak
for his
French
daughter.
is so...
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known
Sir,
how it
I
feels
was a
to
child.
watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me.
Court vibes with an
All
actual
those
moral.
decades ago, even the officers from the
it's
Maison Gardiennage
going
were
great.
laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame.
No.
You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vinier is dead. We promised each other that
Did
we
you
would
just
always
blame a
be
scale
together.
for this?
Wherever she goes, I will follow.
She, I would like it to be known that we've spoken.
I can't be dissolved.
We've spoken to her.
No matter what I do.
She's told you to stop trying. Did you just take a flick?
Is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
Yes.
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve.
It's called the Opera House. This place is called the Opera House.
I can't go. I can't follow.
That is.
So if I can't go where
That
she
is what it is called.
What choice do I
the
have
official
but to try to
place.
bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of
He didn't
me.
actually know anything. He
I
was just a
spent my
fucking
entire
idiot.
life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near
Also,
me!
the term guards that
save
they
Vinier.
use, it's
I promise.
Opera House of Fish. This isn't Fontaine. It's called
Vinier.
Fontaine.
Vinier.
There's a place in Fontaine
Please,
called Fontaine.
Vinier, don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer
Oh
have
god,
any
what is
basis.
Tartaglia gonna do? What is he
Fine
gonna
by
do?
me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler,
Yeah, well,
please submit all the evidence
hope
you
you
have
die in a
collected to the guards so that
fire.
I
I
might
hope
review
you
and
die
summarize the
just
truth
once,
behind
so
the serial
fucking kill him.
disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vinier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to
Why
life.
did you choose women?
To cover his tracks, he invented the new
Did you
alias
think
of
the
Marcel
primordial sea
and
was
began
sexist?
to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently,
I like
Vacher
how
attempted
I'm
to
going
frame
murder
Linny
you.
as the
I'm going
culprit
to
of the
die
serial
in literally
disappearances
5
case,
years, so
using a
it's
similar
not
method.
that you don't need to
However,
try
his
that
attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
Now my arm's acting up. This is stupid. Ooh, applause, applause,
The oratrice
applause.
will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
That fucking thing is immediately stolen from Honkai Star Rail. Because they're
According to the
same
judgment of the
people, but
oratrice
still.
mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
See?
Guards! Take Vacher away.
How did the Archon not know this? I get...
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many
Can I
innocent
speak to
people,
the
and now
god
he's
now?
finally getting what he deserves!
Please?
Huh? Are you okay?
Yeah, they just name things in French. It's fine.
Demoiselle,
It's based
you were
off France,
absolutely brilliant.
but it's struggling.
Day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come.
Fontaine's based on France.
You can rest
but
easy now,
the
knowing
creators are not
justice has
French.
been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over.
It doesn't work out the
It's
best.
all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious
I'm going
piece
to
of
commit
drama?
genocide!
The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to, so if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Yay, killed him.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh,
Eat
come on.
shit.
Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Side character, my
Please
ass.
respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia
I think
is
it's about
innocent
to
of the
not
charges. We now turn
'Cause
to
he
the Oratrice
does
Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale
from
to render the final verdict on the charges.
Other part, trailers. do something
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr.
He
Tartaglia
attacks.
is guilty.
else. Eat
Hey,
shit.
hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice
He's
might have just
wrong.
convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else.
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Oh, it went black. We're getting a cutscene.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Oh yeah, he doesn't have his fucking vision right now. It's like underclassmen. I'm concerned about that. Does he have a new form, or is this? It's still Foul Legacy? Okay. He can't fully go into Foul Legacy. There's blue. What does Nouvelette do? What does Nouvelette do?
I'm sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
I'm concerned. No. We have scarred the Dilf's face. What a tragedy has been made on this.
Hey, Monsieur Nouvelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of
He's not
Fontaine's court
dead.
system,
He's
the
just knocked out.
Oratrice's judgment
I wish
is
he was
the final
dead.
verdict of the court. All I do is
He's my
follow
least
court
favorite
procedure.
character. I wish he was dead.
As
I
for
wish
why
he
the
could die.
Oratrice arrived
I
at the
want to be the
conclusion it
reason
did,
he dies actually.
you should
so I
probably
guess
ask someone more
a little
knowledgeable than
longer
me.
so that I can, you know, stab him.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either!
Oh, she's
Hey,
an
stop
incompetent
staring at
Archon.
me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She is...
She says she has no
Questionable
idea
Archon.
either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some
do be
sort
acting
of
like
random
I'm the
mishap?
freshman.
Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
Oh, she's gonna put me a bunch of
However,
behind the
given the
scenes.
state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement.
I'm side-eyeing this.
And, of course, for every performance
It's
there
a
is a
bombastic
script.
side-eye.
Everything has unfolded
Criminally
exactly as
offensive
I
side-eye.
expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate
got a
to
message
leave things
hero for a
hanging in
second here.
suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
No, not at all.
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea.
This man is a god's babysitter. That's what he is.
However, please be assured that I will
It's
continue
great.
to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now.
I don't feel bad for him at all. In fact, laughed my ass off.
Plenty of bad stuff.
He's done so much.
So he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Yep. I feel no bad. What was that called? Tell me. Tragedy repeats itself. Heh. Eat shit, child. Sir. Yes. Do you need something? Do you need something? Just because I am but a tiny child means nothing.
La la la. Woo!
Sometimes I just need to vibe as Glee. Especially because I have her skin. This is just so adorable. Absolutely adorable.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
What the fuck?
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
He's in jail.
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? The Fountain of Lucine? Then... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
Does that confirm that he's not human?
Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor.
I've scheduled myself too far to delude.
I will go
Goodbye.
with you. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that
to you
case,
later.
I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Fishy guy. We should bring Cleo away from that man. It's just get Klee out of here. We don't need Klee to be near this man. How long have I been streaming? On a side note, how long has it been? It's been almost 3 hours. That's less than last time. I will be taking a short break here soon to get some food. Short, it might be long, I don't know.
Is this the place? You said
Probably
she's
just
here,
end
but
stream.
what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vignier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are...
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Is he gonna pass out? But
Vignier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have... Vignier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
oh shit!
What are you saying?
Die, bitch.
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
Wait, you are not Vignier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vignier. I am the sacrifices.
And Vignier.
Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea.
Oh shit.
I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine.
I'm Lemon.
The only one
What
I
is
am
Lemon
not
in French, actually? I'm
is
intrigued.
Vignier.
Why?
Oh shit.
But then, where is Vignier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore.
Citron.
Every
I'm such
tendril
an
of her
idiot. I remember that.
consciousness is avoiding you.
Oof.
This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became?
Oh shit, you're right.
You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No. Yeah. She can't hate me. Let me see her. Please. Have mercy.
I missed
You
what I
still
said.
don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you.
Okay.
She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Oh shit. He's dead.
Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Shopping is stressful and something.
Well met, partner.
Okay.
I knew something
that
great was
wrong?
going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Seine. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm
still need
so
that
glad
edit
I
of
didn't give
Poisson.
up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by
I
the
did
way,
not I
ran
just
into
clicked.
Charlotte
I just
after I left the
instinctively
memorial
clicked.
service.
What the fuck?
Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time, so we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarend wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the
Just
public
telling Milo
consciousness.
about the stream.
Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
Oh, yes?
What is it?
Give us an audience with Verena,
I
please.
should pay a visit to my father's grave.
I would like
and
to
tell
get an
him the
audience with
truth of what
Verena,
happened,
please.
as well as how it all ended. And on top of that,
We shall never.
just how much people still look up to him to this day.
Just
That
want some fucking
includes
food, man.
me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Nicolette is crying. Oh!
This is where my father's grave is.
I would like
To
to
be
tell them the
perfectly
lore.
honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already.
Hmm?
Isn't that Neuvillette?
Yes.
Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
Of course he's here.
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In
Of
any
course he
case, why did you come to Poisson?
He knows nothing.
Oh. Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the
And
opera
it's been raining
epiclese
for
indeed
days.
insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk to him, right?
A bitter pill to swallow.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see, I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this, since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but what is it really?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Nervalette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead?
Pissed.
To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
He didn't fucking answer that. He's like, no, just stop.
My apologies. My investigation has still not... However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also...
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
I just had an
So
idea.
when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Oh, she should
Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
Yeah, he wanted a hold back fight with you. Yeah, that's
Your
true.
sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
That is it.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memoria.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
Casey.
All right, you've got a point.
My Pepsi got a little warm within the hours I've been.
Paimon just
training.
noticed that the rain has stopped.
He's not sad right now. He's not crying. He's not sad. A light rain falls without reason. No, it doesn't. Is it? We know the. You know why. I'm gonna get this thing, and then I'm gonna take a break for a little bit. Huh? Oh, hello, Mother. Hi, you... Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Clicking furiously.
No, that's how you run. You just click the...
Quit following me.
You click the run button. Goes a little bit faster.
Too slow.
It is time for me to take a break. I gotta go clean some stuff up, because my cat doesn't know how to shit in her fucking litter box. And I also need food. My mom just came down, that's why I was I was a little bit tired. So, I'll be back later, hopefully later today, because I plan on continuing it and ending today. So, see